Most people have no idea how often our bodies are actually trying to communicate with us. It's really cool. Most people ignore the signals and the signs that something might be a little bit off. And, it's not that serious at first. This whole video is not intended to scare you because Lord knows, I actually am a hypochondriac. I always think if something weird is happening, oh my gosh, I'm dying. That is not the point of this video, but I am going to be sharing 13 warning signs that your body might be trying to give you. And then I'm going to share how to fix them so that the problem doesn't actually get serious. Now, of course, every single thing that I'm mentioning in this video doesn't necessarily indicate what could be happening, okay? This is just to kind of put some things on your radar, see how you feel, get more in tune with your body. So the first warning sign that you might want to pay attention to is your eyebrows. So you want to look at the outer thirds of your eyebrows. And if you've noticed that they're starting to become very sparse, like the center of your eyebrows are normal, but the outer thirds are really, really thin and hair is actually falling out, that can actually be a very clear indication that your thyroid is starting to not work as properly. It could be going in the direction of hypothyroidism. So that would mean that your thyroid is more underactive. It's not producing as many hormones as it should for your whole body. And of course, again, throughout this whole video, consult your doctor, talk to your doctor. These are just some things that you could try if you're interested or want to research more. But I've talked about the Lugol solution, the iodine Lugol solution that you can put on your forearm, rub that in. That really helps to kind of wake up the thyroid. Also, I love this suggestion, but putting cayenne pepper, like making a cayenne pepper paste with just cayenne powder and water and putting it on your thyroid to heat that up and literally wake up your thyroid can be really helpful too. Red light therapy can also be amazing for thyroid function. I've wanted to actually do a whole video about this, but if you even just look up different videos on YouTube or testimonials, there's women that have had terrible thyroid numbers. They feel awful. They start using red light on their thyroid every single night. They start feeling better. They get their numbers retested and it's dramatically improving the numbers. I love this one that I have. I can link it down below. I love how you can really just place it and use it anywhere on your body. So number 2 and number 3 are completely different warning signs, but they're more connected in my opinion than most people realize. The second warning sign is excessively dry scalp. And then the third warning sign is eczema, which is really dry skin, dry patches on the skin. And maybe you have one or the other, maybe you have both, maybe you have neither. But most people, especially when it comes to dry scalp and maybe dandruff and that kind of thing, they think that they just have dry skin up there or they're maybe using the wrong shampoo. There's just a lot of buildup. But usually it actually is more of an internal signal that your body's trying to tell you that it's actually more of a gut microbiome imbalance. And a lot of times that's the same thing when it comes to eczema. Now I know eczema can be a lot of different things. It could be triggered by maybe an allergy to something, but I really think that if we get our gut in check, that can really reduce the inflammation. And to be quite honest, a lot of things that I'm gonna be talking about today, the root problem is actually just inflammation in our body. So one of the easiest ways to help our gut microbiome, we want the good bacteria to really be flourishing, not the bad. If the bad is just thriving, that can lead to these flare-ups and these weird signs and signals that your body's giving you. It's simply taking a probiotic, okay? And what's interesting is one of the number one questions I get in my Instagram DMs, which is odd, is what was that probiotic that you take or recommend? And it's Ritual's Synbiotic. And I think people are drawn to it, myself included, because it actually is a prebiotic, a probiotic, and a postbiotic. So it's the full big picture of good bacteria that can really help our gut microbiome. And another thing that I love about this product is the fact that they have delayed release capsules. So the capsules actually reach your colon, not just your stomach. A lot of the probiotics on the market, they only reach your stomach, and then we have a lot of stomach acid and it just kind of kills it. It's just stupid. You're paying for something and not really getting any results. So I love this. It's also shelf stable. You don't even have to put it in the refrigerator. You can keep it by your nightstand or in your bathroom. And then remember to take one capsule every day. It's amazing. If you've ever wanted to try this, they are having a high standard sale. That's what they're calling it, where you can actually get this 40% off right now. It is a limited time. You can enter code ShayWhitney-40 and get 40% off your first order. So I will have them linked down below. They also have multivitamins. They have the different things, but definitely the Synbiotic is my favorite product of theirs. Now, another skin warning sign that you might want to pay attention to, and usually this really is no big deal, okay? But it's skin tags. If you have a skin tag or a couple of them on your body, it's not a big deal. But it's more when they start appearing a lot on your body, or maybe in clusters, or they're starting to get skin tags. That can actually be an indication of insulin resistance, meaning your body is not handling sugar well, or glucose essentially. It's spiking, and that can lead to widespread inflammation in your body. Also leads to pre-diabetes and to diabetes. It's all just like a domino effect. If you can kind of just pay attention to the early warning signs that most people don't even pay attention to, it can really essentially maybe save your life. The next warning sign I want to discuss is varicose veins. Now, don't freak out, because I know a lot of women have varicose veins. It really is just an indication of poor circulation. It's your body saying that the blood is kind of getting caught in the veins, and then that's what you're seeing. It's kind of your body saying, like, you need to move more. You need to get your body and your blood moving more, and then this won't happen as much. And so, in my opinion, the best way, and I know like so many videos you click on my channel, I'm like, you have to rebound. But really, you guys need to rebound, because rebounding is so easy on your whole body. It's amazing with joints. It's amazing for your lymphatic system. It's amazing for blood circulation. It just gets your entire body flowing properly. And I love that people that are in their teens really enjoy it, all the way up to like 80-year-olds can easily bounce, especially if you get one that has that like little handlebar to like really help with balance. I mean, it is just one of the best things that you can do for your whole body, and it really does help with varicose veins. Next, I want to share 2 warning signs that your eyes can actually give you. The first being arcus senilis. If you didn't know what that was, I didn't either, but it's actually a white, gray, or even sometimes blue ring around the iris of your eyes. And after this video, you can go look in the mirror and it's like, do you have arcus senilis? And if you're in your 80s or 90s, that's actually kind of normal, because it is a sign of aging. But if you're in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, that is not normal. And it can be a sign of high cholesterol, which I actually don't think high cholesterol is as bad as what everyone makes it out to be. That's just me. You do your own research, you do you. But the bad high cholesterol can be increased, again, if you have a lot of inflammation in our body. And when we reduce the inflammation, that bad high cholesterol will correct itself. So we don't want to just like reduce all of the cholesterol in our body. That can lead to so many other problems, but that's a whole different video. So if you think you have the bad high cholesterol, the easiest way to correct it is simply reducing the inflammation in your body. Again, getting your gut microbiome in check is a really helpful thing. You can also cut out alcohol. Alcohol really triggers inflammation in the body. Also, just simply detoxing, like through the clear pathways that our body was designed to do. So going number 2 every single day. I mean, that is getting the toxins and the bile out of our body. So every single day doing that. Also drinking enough water to urinate. Like that's another way that our body flushes out the bad stuff. And then also sweating. Sweating is such a wonderful thing to do, whether it be in a sauna or just simply exercising. Sweating will eliminate the heavy metals, microplastics, chemicals, and like the buildup of toxins that are directly contributing to inflammation. Now, the other warning sign that your eyes can give you is called scleral icterus, and it's when the whites of your eyes look a bit yellow, and that's the bilirubin. A lot of times we'll see this in newborns, but if you notice, like when you look in the mirror, the whites of your eyes look more yellow than they do white, that is actually an indication that your liver is not working as properly as it should. So your liver is what processes the bilirubin, and that's that yellow pigment that can affect your eye. So the liver processes the bilirubin through the bile, it's detoxing you, and if it gets backed up and it's not working properly, that again can be a sign that your liver is not functioning well. And so again, we want to go back to opening up all of those detox pathways, and that will really improve your liver function. Now, this next sign is really interesting to me, but if you are somebody that is just starting to get gray hairs, I'm sure a lot of people watching this video, you've had gray hairs for the longest time and you're probably far gone, probably like me. I have like a decent amount in weird spots on my head. But what's interesting is when people are just starting to go gray, it actually is the first step in you are losing your minerals and more specifically your copper. There's been so many different testimonials of people that when they start to go gray, if they just increase their copper and some of the other minerals, they stop going gray. Like they can reverse the gray. Now, once you are just like full of grays, it's really hard to replenish your whole body enough to like stop it. But it's just something that I wanted to throw out there that, you know, it's the first stage of your body is not getting as many minerals as it's used to. Now, another warning sign that you might have a mineral deficiency is actually just your nails. If you have very brittle, thin nails that get those white spots on them all the time, that actually is an indication that you are mineral deficient. And if you would simply correct that, your nails would then grow in stronger and thicker, which would then stop the white spots from forming. Because honestly, the white spots themselves aren't bad. That's just a sign that your nails are thin and there's damage. Like if the nail bed kind of like moves or it gets hit or like there's blunt force to it, those white spots appear. And that really only happens on really thin, brittle nails. Again, because of the mineral deficiency. And if you would correct that, then your nails would get stronger and that would stop happening. Another interesting deficiency warning sign is low B12. Now, the warning sign is if when you wake up in the morning, if your hands are tingly when you first get up, that is actually a sign of low B12, which you can then, you know, look into further maybe, or you could try supplementing to see if that, you know, stops. I think a lot of people, if that happens to, they wake up and they're like, oh, I was just laying down, like I'm starting to like move around. But really that's not normal. So it's just something to think about if that is something you experience. Now, the next warning sign that you should definitely pay attention to is a persistent metallic taste in your mouth, which I've never experienced before, but I have had a couple friends experience this, and it's been for different reasons. The first being, and this is the most common thing, is you have amalgam or like silver fillings and they're starting to leak or like leach the metal into your mouth. So that makes sense. If you have like a metallic taste in your mouth, you probably have silver fillings, which are really, really toxic to your body. It's full of mercury. You should look into getting those out, which I'm sure a lot of you already know that. But what's interesting is if you're on antibiotics, that can also be a cause of it. But if it's still happening long after you've been on antibiotics, you don't have silver fillings in your mouth, it actually can be an indication that there might be an issue with your kidneys. Now, this is the only one in the whole video where I'm like, okay, this is a little more scary. Like, hopefully that doesn't happen. I think this is more rare, but what's interesting is your kidneys filter out waste from your blood. And so when they're not filtering as well as they should, that's when you can get a metallic or even like an ammonia-like taste in your mouth. But I do just want to say the whole point of this video is not to run off to the doctor and start taking all this medication to cover up the signs that our body's giving us. The point is to identify these signals and signs that our body's trying to communicate with us. We need to get more in tune with our body so that in turn we can make lifestyle changes so our body can then work on healing itself. Okay, but let's get back to another warning sign, which is just feeling like crap after you exercise or work out, especially on your period, okay? Or as I like to say, George. When George is around, sometimes even after I exercise, usually we get euphoric and we feel like, wow, I can't believe I feel so great after that. You feel accomplished, right? But if you just feel like crap, especially on your period, it's spiking your cortisol. It's really just pushing your hormones all out of whack. You need to be doing just more low intensity exercise workouts, especially that week on your period. And then do the higher intensity week 2, week 3, maybe even week 4. It could just really need to like listen to your body. As women, we need to cycle sync, essentially. Men don't need to freaking worry about this kind of stuff. They're just always even keeled. We are not. I think our cycle plays a lot more into our health than we realize, and we just need to pay attention to it. Anything that I recommended in this video will be linked down below in the description box, as well as pinned in the top comment. And if you did want to try Ritual's Synbiotic, they are having that high standards 40% off sale. My code is ShayWhitney-40. You can enter that and get 40% off your first order. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.